Tony Abbott has been confirmed as joining the board of the War Memorial. Now, some people on Twitter seem to have a problem with this. I don't think that there is any problem with a former Prime Minister serving on the body that will help guide that institution into the future. Like, to me, if there's any former Prime Minister who wants to serve on that particular board, then yay. And it's particularly yay that it's this former Prime Minister who will be serving on it. But Teena, the haters, they were all out there. But first, let's have a look at how it was written up in the Oz today. Tony Abbott's joined the War Memorial Board. It is his first major official appointment since losing the seat of Warringah in the May election.
It's a spectacular appointment.
Great idea.
It's something Tony has a genuine interest in. And look what he's done for the veterans over the years, Paul, with his polypedal.
Correct.
He had the great interest in the World War monuments over in France there. He started those off. So, look, you couldn't get a better person other than Brendan Nelson to be associated with the War Memorial. And I can't believe the Twitter set. Look, they find fault with anything. With Tony, you know how it is, Paul.
Well, it's this thing. I mean, Abbott derangement syndrome, sadly, it still exists. It still flourishes. And it's this thing, Scott, where, you know, I mean, who could possibly have a problem with this? And I will say it, if any former Prime Minister wants to serve in that capacity for that organisation, then welcome them. And if that means we've got to add a couple of extra seats around the table, then fine by me.
Well, I just can't understand sometime in this country why we don't necessarily respect former leaders and understand that they've had experience in high office and they can bring a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge and experience to these roles. It doesn't happen overseas. You just been back from America, Paul. You understand that, you know, they get former presidents to do these kind of roles around the world because they understand the experience they bring to the job. And what are they saying? That Tony Abbott, after he lost Warringah, he shouldn't have another job in the future. He should have no role at all. Should go quietly off into the sunset or into the surf, whatever it may be.
But sadly,
that is just ridiculous.
But it's a Twitterverse
going mad.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it's what I want, but I'm just saying that is their expectation. Their expectation is vanquished, gone, goodbye. But as Teena says too, this is a bloke who, unlike any other former Prime Minister, even after losing office, still got on his bike and still raised the money for the veterans.
He raised $5 million.
Yeah, but he was doing it post-politics too.
He was.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, look, you forget about Tony Abbott. I mean, there's going to be critics out there of Tony Abbott. I understand that. But have a look at the things that he did in his life. I mean, the time with the rural bushfire area, his time in terms of life-saving, the polypedal. This is someone who is actually, throughout his political career and before it, but throughout his political career, continued to involve himself in these kind of tasks and work. And quite rightly, as Teena said and yourself, Paul, this is someone who's got a passion for this area. You can't think of a better board position for him than in something like the War Memorial. You know, this is a great appointment. And I can't believe people who are criticising this.
Well, and I repeat, if I woke up tomorrow and read the same thing about Julia Gillard or Kevin Rudd, the Ghost, or Paul Keating, I would have honestly no problem with it. This is I have to some institutions in our country that are above Team Red, Team Blue, carping and carrying on, but alas, we're not.